trying something out today, yeah? Looking at the camera made me feel a bit self-conscious. But hear me out. What am I thinking? I am thinking about the experience of the user. And I realized something while I was thinking about this, that in order for me to understand the experience of the user, I cannot put myself in his position. That is bullshit. What I need to put myself in the position of what I need to do is put myself in the position of the actual platform. And it clicked because like a week ago I was making a video that's trying to explain how I'm thinking regarding how people kind of like level up or how people grow and expand. And I realized something while I was having this conversation, and the realization clicked when I clicked with the observation that I'm almost always looking at things from my own perspective. Now, granted, if I were to look at the world from other people's perspective, it's a different angle, but it's still looking at the world. We do not really consider the perspective that the world has on us. And again, I'm objectifying something beyond what I can comprehend in conversation. Though the reason I'm doing this is because I am trying to elaborate and explain to myself not how I feel, or at the very least, just kind of like, I feel, and how would the world feel with my existence. And that's the relationship that the world has and the experience that we're kind of like, we always allude to. Is that it? Allude to? Yeah. I think that's the word we're looking for. So what am I doing? I am trying to reflect on me from the world's perspective. And when I do something, I am actually creating a relationship with this world. And as I interact, the more information the world gives me and gets out of me, correct? There's that transaction that creates the value, which we utilize to grow, if it's value, we utilize to grow, and it could be value for destruction as well, or it could be. So I'm thinking about it from a tree's perspective. It kind of like needs energy. It consumes the sun's energy, but the sun's energy is not what makes it grow. Is basically the connection between it and the carbon molecules so it can grow, right? So that's the thought process I'm thinking about. But as the tree grows, now the world is looking at a bigger tree. So like there's more information about the tree shared with the world because the world shared more things with the tree. And that reciprocal relationship, or that relationship once reciprocated, allows for a structured approach to growth, or at the very least allows for some form of stability. When I am thinking, or when Tari is considering his own growth in this world, what we're looking at what am I doing, how am I benefiting, and we're barely reflecting on ourselves from an objective standpoint, which is something that people talk about, but I was able to kind of like envision it yesterday, as in like put myself in the world's position, having to deal with somebody like me, right? That's basically like what's going on, because all my feelings are going somewhere and are either being consumed by the world directly, negative or positive, or by people, man. It's like you're either like putting your feelings on people or putting your feelings on yourself. And I feel that's kind of like, those feelings are the expression of who you are or who you've become, or what your shape right now, whether it's the shape of your aura, shape of your mind, shape of your structure, shape of something, whether that allows you to actually incorporate with the layer that you want the world to respond to you with. Fuck, that was heavy. Layer the world wants to respond to you with. So anyways, this approach is a bit more, I don't know, it seems eccentric, like look at yourself from the world's point of view. But I feel that's empathy, right? Because we're seeing, when we're empathetic to other people, what we're doing is we're putting ourselves in their position, or we're seeing the world from their perspective. And by doing that, we're putting ourselves in their shoes, and effectively we're looking at ourselves if we were in their shoes. So we're creating that separation. But it's always, we are the ones who are observing ourselves. We're not really considering how they see us. I mean, like, in a deeper, more profound way. Or at least in a way that allows for us to completely detach from our hidden biases and beliefs. For example, yesterday I was thinking yesterday about beliefs, and something crossed my mind. Like, there's something that is believed to be true by me, which is kind of like weird, because at one point I thought like a lot of them were killed. But I don't know, I forgot what it was. I should have written it down. Maybe I did, but I'm driving, so I can't think about it right now. So back to the point that I was trying to like discuss, like, you know, what I was thinking about, looking at the user of my platform from the platform's perspective, a completely new mental map of how to follow features and products started clicking and started kicking in. Fucking cunts. 1 second. I mean, in all honesty, all this noise, and the bike was not even driving. Like the speed was barely 70 fucking kilometers per second. Which shows that I'm like, ماشي بنص الطريق مع الموتوسيك. My bad. ماشي بنص الطريق موتوسيك. شو الأهبل. Alright, I almost kicked I almost climbed on top of a fucking motorcycle. But anyways, what's the conversation about, my guys? Looking at yourself from the platform's perspective. Yes, Tariq. Okay, so I'm looking at myself. So I'm creating this kind of my mind created a mental map into how Tipper actually sees the people, and that kind of like clicked. That clicked with me. That kind of that highlighted something, showed something up, just kind of like pointed at a certain approach to engineering or understanding, because, like, you know, literally diving from, like, you know, it's the difference between watching a tree grow and actually having the tree grow while I'm watching it. Yes, no, maybe. I don't know, dudes. I did not, like, I probably wrote something in my video today regarding it. I probably wrote something about these kind of like thought processes in the videos I wanted to make. Today, specifically, I think I'll probably make like 5, 6, 10 videos. There's a whole lot I want to empty out from my mind, specifically because I got triggered with this new thing. This, like, you know, what's going on? Oh, this is going on. Then now that this is a thing that I'm actually thinking about and discussing, then I'll be able to. I kind of need to reset, to empty shit and opinions and stuff that's already in my head, or at the very least patterns or like trains of view, vision, thought, structure. Empty them in order for me to have space to expand from the opposite direction. And again, it's not like I'm looking at myself. I am looking at myself as a user. And it feels like I actually caught that glimpse when I was trying to, like, because over the past 5 days, it's been a lot more if I had a place, an office, how would it look like? And we've been talking about it for 2 weeks to 2 months, me and the person I'm working with, and those 2 to 3 months are have been kind of like building what would an office look like, and how would we receive feedback from people look like, and what would we do with it. And it's been kind of like more of an experiment of approach regarding these things. So it's super funny, or at the very least it's super it's interesting / intentional. It's an interesting intentional approach to how we can to how we can actually translate the physical activities into the digital by creating something physical, because ultimately what we're working on is digitizing the real world. So it is kind of like one of those stages where you kind of like realize that a step forward is not expanding into something bigger, but contracting into something smaller. And that basically size is literally because, like, that's the nodule, that's the seed. We're getting closer to where the seed is, so we can give it the nutrients it needs, and for it to start growing and encompassing everything around it. Yeah, fucking love it. This is beautiful. It's gonna be a video. Woohoo! I love you guys. Bye.